Hanndsome, a beautiful place for the convocation of comely men. Now, here's your host, the Grammar Club.
Started recording.
I've also started recording.
It has begun.
Now I've started.
I'm gonna turn my mic way up. Some good plosives and sibilants and plosive.
I don't think we have a plan.
I don't have a plan at
No.
all.
Plans are for
I've
chumps,
been
guys.
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy
Let's get real
Pelosi.
political
Oh man,
on this
Nancy
episode.
Pelosi is a fantastic mic check.
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
It out today. Nancy Pelosi. Nancy
Pelosi.
Let's
What a
get
wonderful
Pelosi.
name. It means no worries.
We could talk about our critical success of Live Slow Die Forever is the next
That
album.
sounds great. Let's do that. Let's talk about the critical success of Live Slow Die Whenever.
of copies yet?
We have sold dozens of copies.
We're certified wood,
Is
dog.
it more than one dozen now?
I don't know.
We've sold at least a
I
dozen.
think so.
At
I
least
think we
one
sold
dozen.
at least 2 dozens.
We're certified.
Or
We're
1
certified dozens.
We've sold it at least in my reference, Shale Riley monetary units. We've sold at least enough to eat at the Chinese buffet twice.
Nice. You know what, Shell? You can have mine. You can eat it there 4 times.
I will.
You know? You're welcome.
Thank
Love
you.
That's all me.
But it's a buffet, Beefy. Like, if you're going to a buffet,
I mean,
Beefy
he has to
buffet.
go-
like,
I assume
I mean, I
he'll
guess-
be there in like a 2-day span, but they eventually
Yeah.
will kick him out, or he'll want to go.
You can already eat all you care to eat.
because you can't masturbate at the buffet. You can do almost everything else.
Why does
Maybe you can't.
One time I went to the buffet and there was this kid there who was clearly like a mentally handicapped kid. Like he had his parents and he had his like a handler sort of situation going on.
The
I don't
sign
remember
they
the
all carry.
specific details, but man, this kid loaded his entire plate with cottage cheese and crab legs.
Oh, wow.
What?
This amazing
That's a
display.
feast.
Oh, I remember he had like his dad and like I guess his dad's like hyper religious
Ooh.
maybe fiance or a partner or whatever, but man, the conversation they had, I wish I could remember it in detail. Like I remember talking about like how they were talking to the kid like how he couldn't talk and act up in church, and he's like, well, why not? And he's like, because that's God's house and you don't talk. And he said, well, people talk in our apartment. I'm like,
Good
man,
point.
this is not going to end well. And then, man, I wish I could remember more of it better. I'll have to talk to my wife because she'll have a better recollection. But it ended like she stormed out, and I mean, dad and son ate much more peacefully after that. Like, clearly, all of the conflict was coming from one side of the table.
A cottage cheese feast.
Cottage cheese
Thank
and
God.
crab legs.
I can
And
get
it's-
back to
oh,
my
man, he
cottage
made
cheese and crab legs.
He made a huge mess too, and just watching it unfold was just a beautiful thing. I mean, that's what happens at my Chinese buffet that makes it the best buffet.
4 stars. We'd eat there again.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I
dinner and a show.
overestimated my power and abilities at a Chinese buffet one time, and I got very
Did you
sick in the
snort the
bathroom.
wasabi?
No,
Oh.
no, I just got very ill because I was like, I can dominate. That was a mistake. Don't think you're stronger than the Chinese buffet.
It's not the mall.
It's not the mall, man. The mall's one thing.
You
Working
can-
at a
you can be
GameStop
stronger.
for as long as I did, I've conquered a mall food court.
Totally stronger than Panda Express, but not the buffet.
I'm so much stronger than the Dairy Queen extension. Hell yeah. Free pretzels, baby.
We used to have Chinese buffet contests when I was in college, and I ate 7 plates one time, but I never won. Like somebody ate like 20
Wow,
plates.
someone ate
every
more than
time.
7 plates. A lot.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Do we know if Ty's coming? Is Ty coming? Too?
Ty emailed us to say he's locked out of the Discord and he's doing
what?
two-stage
Banned.
authentication, but it's
Oh.
taking him a while. You can check our email, Sean. This is
Yeah. Well,
this is
I
great.
checked it.
I'm glad I got to tell you
can't.
live on the air.
I'm not on that computer. That computer's in a bag on the other side of the room.
Oh, this is better and better. The plot of this episode writes itself.
Man, wait, there's
Yeah.
a mystery
So this is the episode.
Yeah, that was-
like we
We
right,
haven't-
we're
Search
starting
for
the episode
Ty.
with the Chinese buffet.
That was great material for sure. I mean, keep
Yeah.
that.
all
That's
this.
the intro.
Here we go. Everybody
all right, so
hears
so
our
Ty has
podcast.
two factored himself out. Is that what you're saying?
Two factors, 2 times.
Oh, they changed Google today? Oh no.
Oh, did you get the new Gmail?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the new Gmail. It's not bad, really.
I like it.
It must
Yeah.
have
I don't go to it.
I haven't used it.
like,
I don't like change.
like
yeah,
at work,
I know.
I have like half a dozen email accounts I have to watch at all times. So like I just have Thunderbird up like
Yeah.
with everything. It's nice with IMAP. Like Thunderbird plays pretty nice with it. It syncs everything, and you don't have to have it download everything.
All right. So Ty's eating
Are
pizza.
you wearing? Did you wear Crocs on stage?
Hell,
Beefy?
well,
Was
not
that-
during my performance. So, this last weekend, I was
Those
at
are conversation
Spocon.
shoes.
Those are my conversation Crocs.
Okay.
My business Crocs because I was I was
Business
conducting
Crocs.
Grammar Club business,
For the
and
listeners, we should explain that I just saw a picture that he pasted into our Discord.
Yeah,
that,
so-
that wasn't just a completely random aside. It was only slightly random.
this past
Sorry.
weekend I spent at Spocon in Spokane, Washington. A fabulous little fantasy convention, and we perform music. Me and Glenn Case as the Grammar Club, and as the beefy solo machine that I am. And it was great fun. It was good, but during the opening ceremonies, I was not really kind of clued in exactly as what my role would be. And apparently, standing in front of everyone was one of them, and I did not dress appropriately. So business Crocs, baby. But during my performance, I wore my very beat up sneakers, as is my style and custom. Those are my
Trademark
driving shoes,
beefy.
baby. And my I work from home, don't judge me shoes. But you know
I'm
what?
judging you as hard as I can. Really. I just,
People don't like Crocs, man. I just think people
Yeah,
don't love comfort.
I don't even know why I hate them. I only know that I hate them. And I mean, I drive a PT Cruiser, so I know what it's like to be on the other end of that.
Is that
But I still hate them.
I
The
like
unreasonable
Crocs.
hate.
It's just peer
what's
pressure,
wrong with
man.
Crocs? I don't get it. They're fine. They're fine
They
shoes.
seem
Who cares?
comfortable. I've never worn
There's
them.
nothing
but
wrong with any
They seem
footwear.
comfortable.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
And
just
that's
like,
what I keep telling them. My wife keeps being like, "Stop
just
wearing them
know.
to funerals." And I'm
Sean,
like,
what do you think
"Ah,
about
just,
the old
like,
the
we
old
live in a
sandals and
society."
socks?
sandals and socks. It's
How high-
okay if you're going to Walgreens.
How big are the socks?
I mean,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Knee high.
I mean, but if sandals or socks are good, what about Crocs? Why are Crocs?
I mean,
bad?
if you're just
sandals
wearing
and
some, like,
socks, but not
gardening,
Crocs.
you know, if
Sandals
you're
and
out in the garden
socks, but
and you
not
wanna be
Crocs.
barefoot
It said
and have
sandals and
shoes.
socks, but not Crocs. What?
like the thing with Crocs is like if you're gonna be like outside and you want to wear some shoes that you can like hose off later,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
or if you have like murders
Yeah.
and you're gonna need to clean them,
Mm-hmm.
they're probably good for that. But
Yeah.
I think part of it is because my mom's a nurse. My mom was she was an ER nurse. She was in home care. She's been in administration, everything. But she was a nurse all my life. And nurses always they have the lowdown on the comfortable shoes.
Okay.
Nurses and waitresses, but I feel like nurses may have an edge. I could be biased, but anyway, it started pissing me off when I would see people like in a hospital in Crocs, like staff. So I'm like, you guys have like solid alternatives to that, and also you're gonna get blood in your socks, and that's super icky.
That's gross.
Yuck.
Yeah,
I don't do many murderings.
Don't wear Crocs.
I don't
Yeah.
deal with a lot of blood.
Okay.
I mean, just like the usual amount for a homeowner.
If you,
Yeah,
if
I
you
can
do
see
be-
why
like,
Crocs
be
would be
barefoot
an
in
ideal
Crocs.
choice for a nurse or a waitress.
And for a beefy.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
it's
stuff
But
perfect.
for a
in there.
beefy, they're
Just-
just fine. I think.
Like,
Yeah, I mean-
wonderful. Like I highly endorse them. Someone told me that they were not going to be in business forever, but it was from my wife,
No,
and she
they're
also
gonna-
believed like a Facebook
Man.
news post one time. So I
They'll
just
be
don't
in
know what to
business
believe
forever.
anymore.
Let me tell you, no matter what happens to Crocs, you will always be able to get plastic shoes with holes in them.
Yeah, the plastic clogs are not
That
going
gives
away.
me so much comfort,
Yeah.
though. You don't even know. Like, you don't
Plastic
even know.
fully enclosed shoe. Plastic
Like that.
clogs is really the most apt description. That is perfect.
They make little designer ones. Like my wife has ones that are like slip on, but like they look like her normal shoes, but they're just made of apparently of plastic. And that is like a more dignified alternative, I'd say. But I like it. I want to look like a Lego person from the ankle down. If I can make that happen, you can put a little. You move this little plastic piece to the back of your heel, and you've just activated ATV mode. And now you can help move a couch. You can walk backwards in a field, chasing a dog. Weirdly, you can do everything. And then when you're just like, I'm gonna be, as soon as I walk into the house, I'm gonna be throwing these across the room. You slip that little thing to the front, and it's like these things are just weapons now. You can just do whatever you want with these shoes, and they will just leave your feet if you need them to. So Crocs are a big thing, guys. And then they're fully endorsed by the Grammar Club, except for Sean. We don't have Ty's opinion on it, but everything else points to Glenn said he was cool with it, so everyone is all right with it.
I
I
think
just
Ty's
unplugged my
probably more
headphones, so I don't
forgiving
know what
than me.
anyone is saying at the moment. Let me fix that real quick. Guys, we just released our album. What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I feel very
like
positively.
I feel very
it's all right.
positive
I love it.
about it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I'm very pleased with the reception that it's getting. I'm happy
Oh, yeah.
with it. I'm happy with everything on the album.
I'm used to like getting a few like, these things were great, but I'm really positive about these things, but you guys could work on it. I haven't heard like a lot of like snarky or just like, hey, I feel like I have to like, give a negative comment thing.
I have not heard any negative comments at
No?
all yet. That's
So-
great.
I've heard a lot of people wanting to buy trucks.
Hell
That's
yeah,
the-
man.
that's the
People
consistent
wanting
thing.
To buy
Oh
trucks.
man, we should have got a deal with the dealership, gotten some
We
cash
should've.
from referrals.
Yeah, we should have. Originally, I wrote that song as like I was thinking about like creating music like for licensing purposes, and I was like, I'm gonna write a truck commercial.
Yeah.
Nice.
Man,
I feel like
That's
you
what
told
we
me
really
that-
should be doing. We gotta get some licensing going.
Well,
let's write some more
seriously.
commercials and let Beefy rap over them.
All right.
I mean, we can
Yes.
still use the music for
That's an
other
instant
stuff.
win.
I mean, that's how Cake Wave happened.
Let's give
But
Jeter
anyway, back
Stevenson's
to,
more
back to,
businesses.
Back to the album, like it seems like have you guys heard like people have not all had the same favorite track though? It seems like people have brought up other things, which is good. That's a good sign. Because it seems like we
Something
have
for everyone.
some mass appeal. There's definitely something for everyone. There's something for you, listener.
There is
you
something for
that's
you,
listening to
listener.
this right now.
Yeah,
There's
if
a
you're one of
song.
our Patreons
We wrote it
that
for
didn't
you.
get a code and hasn't downloaded our album, you probably are like, I've heard all these songs. Hell no, remastered, dog. Come check it out. Don't
That's
forget
true.
to
They are
download.
remastered. It seems like about a third or half of the patrons have redeemed their codes at this point.
Good.
If you're a patron and you don't check your email or don't check your Patreon messages and you're hearing this and going, hey, they put out an album. Yeah, we put out an album. You have a code. Go check your messages.
Yeah, peep game, dog.
If you check your messages and you can't find one, send us a message. We'll find out which code was.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
And
We just want
I
to
feel
get
like-
this album in your hands.
Yeah, we want it in all the hands.
Well, we don't have a
all of
physical album to give you in your hands, but we want to get this album in your ear hands.
Yeah, your ear hands.
The hands that you who hold in your ears. Those
We
ones.
want
Guys,
you to
get
have
me.
this album.
That's
We want you to consume it as you consume other media.
Just take it, make it part of you.
Hell yeah.
where can you find the album, Shale Riley?
All major digital music retailers, Sean Stone,
That's
and
where you get the
also
label.
our Patreon. If you join our Patreon at the $10
Patreon?
level,
Yeah.
you get the album, and you also get all of our other albums for 1 penny more than you would pay at other retailers. So consider it. It's a possibility.
And theoretically and technically, you get a sneak peek of our next album as we create it.
Many of those tracks, well, I don't
Are
know.
dope.
Many
Are
of them
dope.
have been posted already,
Hooked.
maybe?
Yeah.
This album easily could have been 30 songs, but
And it
Next
could have
one.
easily been $30, but we know what we decided.
I was
Pump the
taking-
dumb
brakes.
way to go.
I was taking stock of like candidates for the next album, and I have like 10 already. So,
Exactly.
so we could just put the next one out in October if we want, but we'll probably
We wanna
sit on
space
it
it a
for a
little.
minute.
We
Yeah,
should
we
have
gotta
something
pump
ready
the
for,
brakes. We
for,
gotta-
Thanksgiving.
Well,
and
we'll put
Christmas
work.
season.
We gotta put work into the Phonics Club side project. That's where the money's
that
gonna
too.
be.
That's what the money's at, baby. Give me that
Children's
children money,
media.
baby.
Children's
So
money.
here's what I want to talk about.
We'll finally have an album that doesn't have it has an E for everyone instead of an E for explicit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That'll be
Don't use that, by the way. Don't
Dreams.
use the E if you're making something. Don't use the E for everybody thing in your design. They will contact you and issue a takedown.
Oh, is that what happened?
Well, good to know.
Is that what happened? Whose cover had to be changed?
No, something I found out. through work.
Old game cover band was called E for Everyone, if I recall.
Oh, did they? I'm sure that they got contacted by the ESRB.
I don't
They're
know.
very
I thought
protective.
you were commenting on that.
No, I wasn't. I know that for other reasons, but
The more
yeah,
you
the
know.
ESRB is very protective of that, and I mean, rightfully so. You know, fair play.
I used to try to get a job at the ESRB when I lived in New York because it was there.
That's usually a good.
They
reason
never
to try to
ever
get any
gave
job.
me a job. Can you
How
believe
did
it?
how do they do that? Like, do you?
I don't know.
do you
I would
get a
go to
job
their
as a
office
reviewer?
and I'd kind of poke around and be like, "Hey, you guys,
Who are you?
Hi, I'm 22 years old and I have a degree in English. You guys hiring me?" And the answer was a resounding no. And here we
yeah.
are.
And repeated and
The
resounding.
answer is like, look, kid, and they would say, kid. Like,
Yeah.
you are literally at the most insufferable that you will ever be in your life.
Yeah.
Go away, you bother me.
Oh, he can get more insufferable.
You know what's
Shall
worse?
Riley
I
heard
was,
that.
I was
That's
probably
chat.
24.
22 with an English major.
I think I
don't
said
think it gets
22
more
out of
insufferable.
embarrassment, but I was really
Yeah.
like 23
really
or
was.
24.
Remember when we were young, everyone? To be young.
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember most of it.
Just I've
Forgot
been the
it all.
old man the whole time.
You just that whole time? All right.
Yeah, just all
were,
the time.
were you born bearded?
Man, my beard
I don't,
finally.
thi- I
grew
don't
back.
think I've ever seen you without
Maybe.
a beard. Have I?
Sean?
I don't
there-
think so.
There's
What if he's
there's
probably
only
super
one
handsome?
picture that I know of that's been circulated, and the only reason that picture exists is because the night of my 10-year high school reunion,
Mm-hmm.
I had an accident with the trimmers
Ooh.
and I took out just the wrong chunk that I couldn't work around it
Oh.
and shave it down to anything.
The night of
Otherwise,
the
I just
reunion.
wouldn't have gone out in public for a couple days. Because I mean, it grows back. Like
Yeah.
the beard grows back in a week and a half. So, but yeah, that's the only reason that there is even a possibility that you would see a picture of me beardless is because of that, or because you found a picture of me as a child. Because I mean, I've literally had I've
You
had a
didn't wear fake
mustache.
beards back then?
No, I mean,
your
I've,
head, dog.
like my sophomore year in high school is the first picture, like the first like school picture I had where I had a beard. When I was
Nice.
like 14, yeah, or 16, I guess.
I just got one like 2 years ago. It feels like.
Did you?
Like,
I feel like my
A picture
my
a
face-
picture
thank
of you
guys,
with no
thank you.
beard.
We did underbeard. I was just writing from other people's experiences, but it just wants to grow so much. But my face
It
is so
felt so
chubby that it's
genuine.
like, just
Wow.
hold it. You know, I'm just, you know, it's
Yeah.
because I'm a gifted songwriter.
No, it's like yeah, the hair follicles they're sort of spread out a bit.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta do what you gotta. But I
Yeah.
love being chubby. I just love to eat. Let's.
Underbeard
I do
is
too. Oh, I love to eat.
Oh man.
we should no fake Friday underbeard.
Well, that's time out
We
real
should
quick because you
we
mentioned
should no
this.
fake
Let's-
Friday a lot of things. Wait, go
Yeah.
on.
But
So,
let's
yeah.
talk about our current No Fake Friday. Balloon
But I want
Flight.
to talk
How
about
dope
Balloon
food, though.
flight.
is
how,
balloon?
how fun is
I
balloon
want
flight?
to talk about food though. No, balloon flight.
We'll talk about balloon flight. I'll tell my story later.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's not a story worth waiting for, but I'm still gonna tell it. It's
Tell
an
it
awful.
right
It's
now.
like
Tell it now.
nothing
Tell
to.
it right
Tell it
now.
now.
Tell it right
It
now.
probably doesn't even involve cottage cheese or crab legs.
I ate a huge steak with cream sauce and like mushrooms in the cream sauce, and then I fasted for 48 hours. I'm so
Was that,
sorry.
like,
That
out
is
of
just
necessity?
the worst story I've ever built up to.
Oh, it's over.
I feel
I gotta
like
go.
the fasting should have
gotta
been
go. I
before
gotta
the
go.
steak. Like you want to make room for that. One time
I
took
had
my
been
wife
fasting
out.
for 16 hours before the steak. Also,
I took my wife out for steak one time. I mean, I've taken her out for steak more than one time because she loves steak. But we were out and she ate this steak and half of a giant baked potato she kind of leans back. She's like, oh, and rubs her belly. I mean, this is when we're like 19, like maybe 20. And so she just kind of leans back. She's like, that was a 16-ounce steak. How big is 16 ounce? I'm like, Chris, you just gained a pound while we were sitting here. And that's not counting the potato or the butter. Like, just the meat. You ate a whole pound of that. Pound of cow right there. She's like, It was satisfying.
Don't worry, baby. That's pretty
Now, the thing you have to know is that my wife is like 5'3".
Yeah.
And like, especially at that point, she might have been 90 pounds soaking wet. 91 after dinner. Like, she's just
She's more than 1% steak.
Yeah, she was more
That's
than
all
1%
protein, baby.
steak
That's
after that.
right there.
I'm
That
totally
counts.
gonna say that to her later, Tanner. That will make her day. Like, do you realize at one point you were more than 1% steak?
Can we make that our next album title? At one point, you were more than
one-
1% steak.
That feels like a lyric.
I
More than
feel
a-
like.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
feel
I'm
like-
gonna write it down.
Or a song title.
I am
With all the
currently
work-
working on a song where I've just got a bunch of like notes of just random thoughts I've had
Nice.
for lyrics.
Those are my favorite types of songs.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it.
Have you ever been more than
About
1% steak?
Can you imagine how much of a conniption fit iTunes and the other digital stores would have if you try to put a percentage sign in your title? Are you crazy?
Oh, I would not like
Are
that.
you crazy? It was like
Especially
Live
if you
from
put like
Bermuda
a-
album. Every store.
If you put like a backslash and then a forward slash around it,
Let's just break HTML code
breaking-
with our
Yeah.
breaking
with our
file
album title.
systems, we have to produce the album under Linux because Windows can't parse the file name.
Can you
Let's
just
not
make
do
a
that.
barcode the title of your album?
Sort of.
Really break the
it'll-
rules.
It'll just turn into numbers.
Can that numbers
What
be
if our
binary
album
that
were
spell
just
the
a string
grammar
of
code?
numbers? We're just like an
just a
11-digit string of
string.
numbers. That was the title of the next album. A non-repeating 11-digit string of numbers.
Oh man, but you got to have like 3 leading zeros so that it screws up somebody's Excel sheet.
All right, let's do it.
Someone's just
40.
gonna have like our
That's
albums
what
in
you
an
get
Excel
for not knowing
spreadsheet.
how to format your numbers.
You know, it's also why we can't do the "Don't Matter You Worry" album. You matter,
because
don't worry.
you can't
because
have 2 lines.
yeah, because you can't do line breaks. It doesn't.
I
work.
mean,
the joke
it
doesn't
would just
work.
be like, don't dead open inside.
Yeah.
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 Like those, though. Those are good times. I like
Wait,
the
don't-
brain. I like
speaking
the
of
brain
which-
puzzle. It's like my idiot version of Sudoku. Like how do you
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out how
that's
to
why
read
it's
these
clever.
We
signs?
had issues with this. We had issues with this album.
Oh, we did. Oh, that was Sean.
That
You
we
want to
should
tell us?
the viewers
tell us-
about? Yeah, sure. So like when I put the song into DistroKid's system, or when I put the album in, whenever I uploaded, well, you put all of the tracks in at once, and then you do the here's where the file is on my computer, and then you at the very end of it you'll hit submit and it'll upload everything. So anyway, whenever I put in the title for Live Slow Die Whenever, it advised me, like it popped up, like if you've never used DistroKid, the system it's clearly designed for people who like don't tag their MP3s or FLAC files or stuff. It's designed to like get the information out of you, so that it'll be right when they submit it to places. So it's a good system overall, but it has a fault in that if you have the word live anywhere in the title of a song, it'll be like, hey, is this song live? Because if it's live, you should put that after the title in parentheses, and here's how to format it correctly so that things won't screw this up. Like, oh, well, that's super helpful. It does the same thing if you do featuring. Like when you format the title for featuring, you have to put, it has to be in parentheses, and it has to be feat, period, space, hyphen. No, there's no hyphen. It's just feat, period, space, people that are featured. So you have to format it a certain way to guarantee that everything is going to get submitted to all of the different online places correctly, which is basically the whole point of using DistroKid, is so you don't have to go through 20 different submission processes. You go through one, hit submit, and they take care of the rest of it for you, and it's pretty slick. Except that it thought, because the not only will it happen, I guess, with the song titles, but if your album has the word live in it, it will think that it's the word live, and it might submit your album as a live album to every online retailer. So
what would be great
that
is
happened.
if we ever did get together and play the whole album live, we could call it Live Slow Die Whenever and really mess everything up.
We call it live from the slow die whenever.
We would call it Slow Die Whenever Live.
Yeah, slow die whenever live. That's what we would call it.
But yeah, so I had to email them. They were super responsive. So good job.
Good on you,
DistroKid.
DistroKid.
Yeah, like they got back to us real quick. The only problem is like once they send it off to different places, like they can send out a request to update the meta information for the album, which is what they did. But once they send it out, it's out of their hands at that point. So then we had to wait a few days. Like the album was actually on sites for a few days, listed as a live album, before we could be like, all right, we can't tell people the album's up yet because it's still wrong.
They're gonna think we got together and did this live.
But anyway, it sorted itself out. There may be a couple stragglers that either just will never update it. If you ever see a live version of Live Slow Die Forever, Die Whenever. If you ever see a live version of it on some like smaller, less known site, it's not a live version. It's the exact same album. They just didn't get the memo.
I think it's still
All
on
you
Pandora
Napster
that
freaks out there, let us know.
I think Napster got it right, man.
Napster's
Oh,
all
okay.
you
Tidal
Napster
got it.
freaks.
Tidal got it right on the first try.
Good job,
I
Tidal.
think.
No, Tidal wasn't messed up first, but they got it.
Tidal
right,
was messed
right
up.
away.
Who got it
Yeah.
right the first time?
I
That
don't
was
think-
impressive.
No one did.
It wasn't Spotify or iTunes. They
Someone
both
had it
wrong
right, I
for a couple
remember,
days.
and then they got it wrong, and it was like,
It must
oh,
have been
yeah.
Google Play.
And then it changed.
Yeah, I think Google Play
Google
was
Play
the one.
definitely got it wrong,
Yeah.
at least for a while.
Well,
But yeah, it should be.
I seem
it
to
should be
remember
right
Spotify
everywhere.
switching pretty quick.
Yeah, Spotify didn't take too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
The
Spotify
big-
got it right.
The big ones were pretty quick. I feel like the Bandcamp, like if you're looking for the version of it that is the most sort of, I guess, canonical, the Bandcamp one is probably the way to go, because they actually take our tagged files and just give them to you, don't they, Beefy? Is that true?
To my knowledge, it's just the.
You
files that
upload
you
waves
upload
and they
them.
convert it to all the different formats with the tags, I think, that you put in
I think
when
we
you're
uploaded
filling out the
FLAC,
form
though.
on the website.
Yeah.
Because I put in like all the lyrics and they bow and everything.
Okay, so
But I know that
it's
puts it on the
basically
page.
the same as. So it's basically the same as what DistroKid did then.
I think so.
Um,
But like,
okay,
I don't see
so,
the
you
lyrics
know.
on like Spotify or anything, but I don't know if that's a separate.
They should be. The lyrics should be on Spotify.
I don't even know how to look that up.
I put them in through DistroKid. I know iTunes accepted them, and
Okay.
a couple other places accepted them. I haven't checked to see like if everyone has accepted the lyrics. Boy, formatting the lyrics for iTunes, man, they're picky.
But thank you for
Yeah.
hosting our album,
Thanks,
iTunes.
Beefy.
You're welcome. Shush. Anywho, speaking
probably
of
made
live
that
and the
process,
Grammar Club
right?
being live, I'm moving forward. Moving up with
It's
the Grammar
out of
Club
wanting.
being
It's out of
live.
wanting good information. So their
That's
heart's in the right place.
Absolutely correct. Speaking of us being live, Danny Tanner, tell us about Balloon Flight, dude. Tell us about our No Fake Friday video that you painstakingly made dealing
Yeah.
with offline media and and 4K
That's what you
video.
get when you're editing and you link a resource to, or I guess an object or media file on the network, and that network computer is off. It's not going to render right. So I
it
fixed
won't.
that. But I used a really nifty program called HitFilm. I also did it for the JSON video. But that actually, doing the JSON video prepared me for this one, because this one went fairly quickly. I think part of that's because I didn't bother to put the lyrics in.
Yeah, that's pretty painstaking
But,
work.
Yeah, you pretty much have to create like a new title card or whatever for every line of lyric you want. So that's great. Someone should make a plugin that just, detects the lyrics in the song and automatically syncs it up. That'd be great.
That'd be real good.
But until I know how to do that, I probably will just not do lyrics for a while until it's easier. We can just put the lyrics in the description and people can follow along that way, maybe. But
Yeah, someone else can
Maybe
say
if there's a
Um,
way to like just paste in a paragraph and have it do timing. There's probably a way to do that.
yeah, someone, if anyone
Ty
hears
did
this
waiting
and
for
knows
Die
about that,
way,
tell
didn't
us.
he?
he did his in Photoshop.
Oh wow.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah, he pretty much did it frame by frame, I think. I think he said that there's there's tweening stuff you can do that'll fill in the animation between certain like keyframes. But I still I have a good idea of how he did it, and it just seems very painstaking. Like it reminds me of
impressive.
Using Flash like back in my high school, like just having to animate every little frame.
Yeah,
like doing stop motion.
Yeah,
Create motion tween
words.
in Flash. That's how I got my start, baby.
But HitFilm is basically Premiere and After Effects built into one, and free, and you can use it for commercial use, so that's great.
Nice.
What's the catch?
Yeah, because a lot of free stuff you can't.
If you want more features, you have to pay. But it has all the features I need, so there's no problem there.
Boom, baby, boom.
Yeah. So
have you done anything in any other editors, or is that just you just?
I actually came from Premiere. Yeah, I came from Premiere. I used Premiere all the way back to like 2002, I think. But I mean, they do the Creative Cloud thing, so you're basically paying like $50 a month for till the end of time. And I didn't really want to do that, so I found this one. And I like it a lot. Like even the keyboard shortcuts are very similar, and it was very easy to jump into. But pretty much for this video, it was really easy. You use something in there called compositing, which is basically what After Effects does. So it creates you can make a 3D space. And so I put the album artwork behind everything really large, and then all the little video clips in different spaces. And then the entire animation is just me setting keyframes for like a camera, and it moves around however I want it to, whenever I want it to. So I basically just had to go through and set all the keyframes for the camera movements, and it was basically done. Besides all the syncing, I mean, but that wasn't too hard because everyone submitted really great audio and video. So that was a piece of cake.
Nice.
That's it.
Awesome. That's really good, man, because you made it
Any
look
questions?
Well, several. How did you make me look so good and thin? Because I looked amazing. I think it was really fun. I think it was a good
That's
time.
all
We
you,
should do many
baby.
more of them.
it was a dope
Yeah,
video.
I would like to do more. I mean, now that I know how to set something like that up, we could do a lot with that cool little camera movement thing.
Well, we should do one.
I think it's
for
just a little more.
Jones.
But to look,
What's
I
that?
still need to work
What
on
to
that. I
figure
should
out
do
how
that
to do
tomorrow.
Should do a Twilliger Jones
add
confronts
something
the
to it.
opposition video.
Is that song done? Did you release that today? Is it too late for me to
No,
add things?
no.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
no,
plenty
no.
of time to add things.
Today
no, that
we
song is still in
released-
its infancy.
Today we released mine and Ty's collaboration of "Sorry on the
Oh,
Internet."
that's right. Sorry on the internet.
That's what we put out today.
Great song.
Yeah, hot track.
Thank you. We're gonna.
I really
make
love
$1 million. Don't post stupid shit on the internet, people. Just don't post dumb shit. Just don't
Sticks
do
around.
it. Just don't
I'm gonna-
ever post dumb shit.
I'm gonna mirror that and write a song about how you should totally do that.
Well, that's not gonna get you a lot of jobs.
Call it angry on
just
the
mess with their
internet?
money.
Like,
Just you want to get the angry internet money for it? That makes sense. Whatever
I'm
happened to
I'm
free
already,
speech
I'm already probably
in
couldn't
America?
get any
internet?
jobs.
the idea is
because
just
of my
falling
internet.
apart and getting worse and worse in my head.
Yeah.
But sorry on the internet you can get if you're a Patreon, and you can check it out, and I hope you guys will dig it. And if you don't, that's a mistake. That's a mistake on your part, and you should do better. And I love you.
Something that song kind of reminded me of is back in early 90s, mid 90s internet, everyone was ramming it down your throat that you never tell anyone what your real name is.
Oh god.
And now your real name is attached to everything. And
Yeah.
Yep, Beef Thompson. is just
everything you say
everywhere.
will come back to bite you in the ass, apparently.
Someday, man. Oh, I'm only gonna give the name Beefy to future prospects and just hope for the best. Hopefully, they just think I'm Beef E. Thompson. He's always a nice rapper guy.
Chuck Finbeard was super surprised that your name was not Beefy Thompson.
Good.
Nah, you need to develop some kind of a meat-based alter ego pseudonym to make angry Reddit posts in secret.
Well, my
Oh man.
my luchador name is El Carne.
Oh yeah, there you
The
go.
meat.
And,
Nice.
but I had another one. Oh, I can't remember my other one. It was a good one, and it was also meat based, but I cannot for the life of me remember. But it's a good one. I feel like El Carne is gonna make a big splash once I buy a bunch of luchador masks. You can buy like 10 for $60. I'm thinking about it. My entire town, not my town isn't on fire, but everything around my town is on fire. So everything is so smoky in the Northwest right now. And like no one, it's so awful.
I did not know that.
It's so great and terrible.
Worse air quality than Shanghai, apparently.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. And I have to find a mask or something. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't hear about any of this.
Yeah, just my house is covered in smoke. It's ridiculous.
The West Coast is kind of
we're on fire.
On fire.
Blaze.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Charmander got loose, apparently.
It's been weird.
Oh, crud.
Yeah, it's been bad. I mean, it seems to be. I haven't heard a lot about any like terrible fatalities. Knock on wood. That I'm not corrected on that soon. By
it's
just the good fatalities.
Yeah,
just the good ones. Like, we accidentally got that murder pit from all those murderers they're hanging out at. I guess I don't know. And all the bystanders left, or they were already dead.
I thought that was closer to Ty's area.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. But I keep looking out the window thinking it's much later than it is. But it's just because the sun has been darted out by all of the fumes of God being angry at us all.
Wow.
Or someone throwing cigarette butts out of the window.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. It's going to rain eventually. It's the Northwest. We're going to get rain eventually.
Wow.
Theoretically.
Yeah. And then it'll be all the rain, but it can't rain all the time.
Blot out the sun, huh?
Yeah, really. It's pretty dark. Like there's no sunshine.
It's literally dark.
There ain't no sunshine anymore, and even when she's here, man. She's here and there's no sunshine, and that's just Mother Nature being upset. It was it was man versus nature, and we lost. But it's all right because tomorrow's a new day, and theoretically it will go away. Probably with wind. No, wind would be bad. Fire loves
you don't want wind
or something.
Yeah.
No wind. Anti-wind. Everything just gets real cold. We have our first snowfall, record-setting day.
You need the waterbenders, not the airbenders.
Why we keep hiring Fire Nation? This is ridiculous. We have
so
many
Fire
trees.
Nation, that's the problem.
Fire Nation was all rocks and plateaus from what I remember. They didn't have a lot of trees situations.
Well, they did.
The first generation took care of that problem. With all the fires. Anywho, it's really hard to breathe.
We shouldn't make fun because it is serious. Hopefully it doesn't get more serious. Hopefully everything.
I live next to a decommissioned nuclear complex. So I mean general safety is just like I don't know, it's an idea in these parts, I think. It's a good theory, but we're all gonna
It's a
die,
dream.
So it's just something we aspire to.
In St. Louis, we've got a radioactive dump. We have a dump where they had buried all of this northwest of St. Louis, I think.
Yeah, probably from shit that we made over here. You're welcome. I'm sorry, St. Louis.
Missouri's got a couple of nuclear facilities, I think, but they definitely have one out near Mexico, Missouri. But yeah, we have like this nuclear waste buried and like a decades long underground fire gradually burning closer and closer to it. That's just been going on for a solid decade. Yeah, it's gonna turn kind of Silent Hill like at some point apparently and be terrible. It's not good.
It's just gonna explode.
I don't think it's gonna explode, but it could.
Oh boy!
Just wipe out the whole area.
Well, fine. You win, Sean. You're more
yours
in danger than me. Whatever.
Our danger is silent.
Spontaneous
and far
combustion
off.
is pretty serious.
Your danger just reminded me of it. So
your danger reminded me of my danger. My general woe.
My low key dread, just another element of it that's always there. Like, I wonder if that nuclear thing is ever going to catch fire properly.
Why? And to read the paper, just shit. Usually that's when I think about buying a boat.
Oh man! On that note, we never did talk about that balloon flight video.
We talked about
we totally talked about the balloon flight video.
Tanner talked about the creation.
Tanner
of
talked
it,
about making.
Did you want to talk about like what brought the idea of it? And
oh wait,
like
Tanner did talk about it.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
You should talk. What made you get the idea to do that? Because that's a really great idea.
Oh, the balloon flight video.
Yeah. Just all wanting to see all of us together somehow.
Yeah, I think we were going to tease that for Spocon, and then we didn't.
Yeah, I don't know what gave me the idea. It just seemed obvious.
It seemed like
an obvious thing to do. Yeah. I mean, like since we started doing No Fake Fridays, I was like, oh yeah, and we'll do like a composite video, because I don't know.
Makes sense.
It just seemed
good sense.
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was filming.
I think
I had
it's just
the camera out. I had the camera out filming a couple of No Fake Fridays, and I was like, and we'll film also this one for balloon flight. So I don't know.
Well, that was good, the idea though, and I'm glad.
Thank
I
you.
think it was it's a good idea, and then it just took Tanner or one of us to come around and do it. Tanner was the one that was brave enough to step up. Thank you very much, Tanner, because it looked great. Like if I had to do it, it would have been a lot more static for sure. It would have been a lot more just sticking in like, well, at least we got 6 pictures on the screen. That's what you people wanted, right? And then it looks a lot cooler, more dynamic than I would have ever made it. So thank you, Tanner.
I tried to learn his film once. I just didn't figure it out. I don't know.
It just coming over from Premiere made it super easy, and because I kind of had an idea of how compositing worked, like in my head already, I never actually done it, but I've seen other people do it. I was like, oh yeah, I understand how this is supposed to go. So that definitely helped a lot. No, the Jason video was the first one I did. I think I got the idea for this one based on the Beefy's verse in that one, because it's got the camera panning to the different clips and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that practicing that one actually took me a lot longer. This one I wouldn't say fairly quick. I think overall with mixing the audio, then syncing it up and doing the camera stuff, I'd say 15 hours ish. Not too bad.
It's probably easier when you have, because with the Radio Chad one, you had like lots of different clips and sources, and when you're just running like when you're dealing with something where it's like, okay, I've just got 6 complete feeds and then the background.
Right. So this one was just all about moving the camera, letting everything play, and you got it.
And film editing, man, like how do you work with like going back between? Because for me, like going between a DAW and a film editor, like when I've used DaVinci, I've used Resolve, and I've used Lightbox in the past. Mm-hmm. Film editing is a completely different paradigm. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be, because it should be like tape. Like, hey guys, you know?
Ty is here.
Ty got in.
Two-factor authentication is the dumbest shit ever.
I told you guys.
It can be, certainly. There's
It's all right.
It's, you know,
what happened?
It's a right-headed idea with potential to go catastrophically wrong.
Ty, what happened?
It's great until your phone doesn't want to turn on anymore.
Oh.
Then you don't have that second factor. Damn. Well,
so your phone gets stolen, or
up?
dropped in a lake, or any number of other things that can ruin your second factor.
Guys, put secondary backup phones. Authenticate your other devices. I highly recommend it. Guys, I'm so glad you're here. We were talking about our balloon flight video. We were talking about the release of Live Slow Die Whenever, which will, I keep saying Live Slow Die Forever, which I'm thinking is the follow-up in 10 years. It's the live version. We're talking about our ups and downs, talked about Spocon and how I wore Crocs at it and how me and Glenn did an awesome show. And now we're talking about how
we talked about Chinese buffets.
Talk about Chinese buffets.
We talked about fire. Is it on fire? Is engulfing us? How fire is your area?
Pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
You too? Damn.
Yeah, can't see like more than a mile.
It's just wow.
Smoke everywhere.
Yeah, like.
Well, that's no good.
No.
Smoke is getting real bad around here. It's getting real terrible. I don't know what to do about it.
It just rained and rained here, man.
That's crazy.
The smoke is so bad.
I don't think Craig is making noise, but I do wonder why he's lit up. Because he's been lit the whole time.
It's lit.
Craig is super lit.
He's making dinner sounds. I hear like
knives
and forks clinking coming from Craig.
No.
Really? That's Craig?
Yeah, it was. He was making a lot of.
That was like somebody in here.
It was like a lot of smoke.
I haven't heard any of that.
It's weird.
I'm gonna crank him up. I don't think that was him.
Craig is lit up, but I think he's always lit up.
I heard that clink.
Well, perhaps who was phone?
Maybe it was a fast clink.
I was in all along. Huh?
We're gonna start a show. What's it called, Tanner? Where we eat fish and chips and Shayla's the producer.
Big Beef and Little Tan.
Eat America.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's gonna be a cod pass.
I
forgot about that part.
You guys need to go to all 50 states. Get foods.
Do they have fish and chips at every state?
You know what I had the other day?
That's all we're going to review is fish and chips in every state.
That's all I want.
From every state.
Every state has fish and chips.
Well, the original.
Wyoming has something that has fish and chips.
that part came because I said codcast earlier, and that would be the fish and chips one. But if we're doing, okay, so Big Beef and Little Tan's codcast across America.
Yes. So if we don't
The
do
longest
that now,
name ever.
because everyone's gone to like, oh, let's go to this place and eat this really good dish. Nah, dog, no. You want the same dish everywhere.
We're going to Bismarck, and we're going to eat at the Long John Silver's.
If you did that series based on pizza, like, you could start wars. Like,
I'm sure that
man.
series based on pizza already exists. Like
I know,
5
that's what I'm
times
saying,
on
like, it's
YouTube
gotta
and
be.
on
It has
Netflix.
to.
I mean,
But
like
my fish
Vice
and chips one,
documentaries reach.
I'm not crazy
all
enough
corners
to
of
think.
possibility. No, because
I'm so sorry, Shale.
I was just trailing off, saying nothing.
Normally, I think I'm just accustomed to me being loud and everyone just stops talking. That was just my loud beefy time going on there.
That happens almost literally every time you think you're talking over. It's like one of us is fading and trailing into the distance, and then beefy talks.
And the tiniest delay on the Discord makes it all. I don't. Either it makes it worse, or I just need an excuse. I don't know.
Well, I talk on the phone a lot during
Why
the
not both?
day, and anytime I have like delays in the call, if I just like, they don't usually hear it or something, so if I just power through it, they're just like, okay, cool. So I keep thinking that's how it's going to work on Discord, and maybe that's not always the case. But I forgot what we were talking about immediately. Guys, what did Craig, what happened?
Oh, Craig is lit up, and Ty was concerned Craig might be making dinner.
Who is Craig anyway?
Oh man, thank you for reminding me. Craig, what is Craig eat for dinner, man? What are you guys gonna have for dinner?
Craig is the name of
had for
the
dinner?
bot that we use to record our podcast.
Craig is only
Wait.
supposed to listen. Craig does not
Kind of
speak.
only assumed that Craig was a guy that just came into our podcast.
He's
I
He's the
really
producer.
hope.
this whole time for some reason.
Yeah, I really hope someone mistook Craig for like a member of the group that we were just referencing, who is just never available.
We
to
talk about him a
podcast.
lot, but he never speaks.
Well, it's like
Oh
every
yeah, I think that's the
podcast
name of the guy that produced the first record.
Yeah, he's like, they're like, maybe not the producer, but like the producer's assistant or something. Like, he's always in the podcast, like helping. Man, damn it. You guys ruined kayfabe on that one, man. All right, whatever. It's a robot. Is that what you want to hear? Monsters.
Not a robot. He's a script.
He has a cute bear face that makes
He
me
does.
feel like he's a bit more
You
human.
know, it's
than
actually
He's
a weasel,
stirring up some
right?
honey.
Like
What's
that
up?
Craig guy. That's not a bear. That's a weasel.
You're breaking
Oh,
my heart.
I thought it was a bear.
Yeah, God.
No,
It's a weasel.
it's a weasel.
Craig
Oh,
is a
is
lie.
that why the website has the phrase "ya weasel" on it?
That
That
is
would make
exactly.
sense.
Well, I mean, it could be the.
Well, it
other
looks
way
like a bear.
around, but yeah,
Well, yeah.
he's an adorable
Tell their
weasel.
graphic designers that they have a one that looks like a bear.
Man, a tiny like 14 pixel weasel just looks bear-like. I'm sorry.
All right, you know what? We're gonna copy this program. We're gonna name it Craig with a K, and we're gonna make the icon a bear, and the
We can
logo
call
is
it-
gonna be your bear.
We can call it bear share.
So let's talk about.
Let's talk about this picture I photoshopped of Beefy. I'm pasting it into Camp Hanndsome right now.
What has happened? Beefy
Sorry.
likes it. What's going on?
Sorry. Sorry for the
Pretty good.
Why would you do that?
Pretty good.
We'll have to
All right, well, you got to do
post
all
it
of
so
us
people
now.
can see it somewhere. I don't know why when you posted that picture earlier, I just saw that, and then I photoshopped it early on in the show and totally forgot about it until just now. I was like, "Why is Photoshop open?" Oh yeah,
That'll teach you to wear Crocs.
They don't teach me to wear shirts.
That'll teach you to wear shirts that cover your belt.
I should tuck in my shirt.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You look like you're out of your R2D2 costume.
I look like I'm just the top half of a costume. This is great. I love it. Oh my god.
well, your
I'm
left
gonna-
arm is actually just copied from your right arm, because that was hidden behind Glenn. I had to
Yeah,
do
it's
something.
I didn't even notice it, so it's perfect. I'm gonna be really insecure about this like later, but right now I'm feeling it. At the moment,
It's
I'm
pretty,
feeling
Come
it.
on, it's the best.
pretty adorable. It's like
How could you
Beefy.
be
He
insecure
looks
about
so
this?
happy.
I mean, like, just think of it this way. In addition to all of your already considerable accomplishments, you're now a part of this really funny picture.
You know, dude, this rates. This rates. The day I had my children, the day I met my wife, this photo. It's like 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And on that note,
all right,
guys, I think.
All right, gentlemen.
How are we going to give this picture to the people while they see this without them seeing it before they hear the podcast?
Post a link in the YouTube description.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put it in the YouTube.
All right.
Description
Well, we'll work on
somewhere.
that. But this
Okay,
that was great. That's a great one.
Just make it the background of the YouTube video.
Perhaps Tanner, the author, could describe the image.
Oh, please, yes.
Yeah, tell us what you've done.
Well,
What have you
okay,
done to
so
me?
imagine Beefy in Crocs. He's also wearing
Standing tall.
what looks like you're standing tall. You got your arms at your waist, like you're standing real confident. Like you've got jean shorts and a Star Wars t-shirt on.
Like it.
He's so
It's all
confident,
anime.
so proud.
God, I sure hope we solve this mystery.
So basically, just imagine Beefy wearing shorts and a Star Wars t-shirt, and then I've cut the shorts out completely and lowered his whole body to cover them. So you just see little 2 legs sticking out of Beefy, 2 little legs with Crocs.
But Beefy's very
It's
much
like,
wider at the waist than I am at the ankles, for sure.
It's kind of like a Funko Pop Beefy.
It's a lot like a Funko Pop Beefy.
This is everything I've ever
We'll have to.
I think a
We'll
Funko
need
Pop
some
BB
action
is an
figures made.
excellent description
Yeah.
of what we're looking at here. Hey, before we get too far, do you want to mention the other song you released since last time we actually recorded the podcast, All the Right Drugs, which I think is the freaking great song.
It is a freaking great
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. I love everything about it. I love how all the parts came together.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I think it was a great song. I think it's gonna be a great one for the next album. Like,
Yeah,
I can't-
me
I'm
too.
like super excited
That's
for
like-
on that one now.
That's like the kind of banger you can open an album with.
Hell yeah, it's
Yeah.
real fun. It's
That
real
song
good.
had some
homage,
technical
it's good.
difficulties that happened as well that were fun. It got saved in the final hour.
True.
I don't know if you even knew about
Did it?
that yet, Shale.
I don't. What happened? Well, I mean, I know that you had pre-post. There was like with the song that we didn't know we pre-posted.
No, not
Forgot
that.
about.
That was a
that-
whole
Oh,
other
there's
thing.
more than that. Okay, what?
You tell him, Ty.
I exported
Oh,
without any of my guitar effects.
Oh,
And I sent it to Tanner, and Tanner mastered it like that. It wasn't
I
until
was just
Sean
like, well,
said
that-
something.
really, Tanner? This is
when I heard it,
something is wrong with your mastering. This is not right.
So
I don't want to be a critic
and I
here,
was
but
like,
what did you
Ty,
do?
Like, Ty, what happened to your guitars, man? I thought they sounded super good and crunchy. Did you, what
I was being
happened?
respectful, and I was like,
I didn't know what the hell
Well,
you were
that's-
talking about it for.
Then Ty
I
goes
went
back
and
and listens to
actually
it. Is like,
listened.
oh,
Oh, no.
that's why you listen to your exports, kids. Don't trust the DAW,
Export at 0 and listen to your exports. That's what you got to do.
especially if it's Cubase. Don't trust it.
Oh my goodness.
another mistake. We did actually. Well, I should say the Carvel EP. We released it in mono because I didn't realize that.
Oh
that's
yeah,
how I saved it.
You weren't supposed to tell him that.
Wait, is
Now
that,
everyone knows.
is that the version that's actually
what you-
out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real old school style.
But
Just
it
straight
sounded
mono.
good, and we didn't notice that it was mono.
It's Cake Wave, baby.
Yeah,
This is
Ty
how you
pointed
do
it out.
Cake Wave is in mono. You guys don't know that?
Well, now we got to do like 10 more Carvel songs to make a whole album. so
It
we
just
can
means that the
incorporate those.
remasters are real easy. The remasters,
Yeah,
all he's
yeah.
got to do is export stereo.
Nah.
I gotta click one button.
Hey,
It was in Ozone.
Remastered.
It was in.
Speaking-
It was in. It was in Ozone when I was testing it for
Oh,
mono
you use Ozone
compatibility.
too? I just
And
started using Ozone.
I use it because of Ty. Actually, he told me
Oh,
about it.
I use
and
it
so
because
got
it was on
through
sale
the,
for $20 the other day.
Oh, the Ozone Essentials.
Yeah, that version.
Well, that's okay.
You know,
There's nothing
I'm
wrong
sure
with
it's
that.
great.
Would, yeah.
You know, for you,
For me.
and for what you're doing.
It's better than-
I only get the level 3 spells.
It's probably better than paying $10 to $15 a month for ever many months. I can't even remember. I was just like, sure, take my money.
Yeah.
Like all of this.
You put it.
money.
You did an installment plan. Yeah.
But we actually use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every song. It's
See,
great.
now I got it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna make the guys think I'm better at mastering." Because that's the only real practical application. No, I'm sure I'll use it for. I used it to master Space King that we put up the other Wednesday. That instrumental side-scrolling shoot-'em-up sounding song that I made.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Kinds of good shit. I plan on making a video game immediately with that music.
I'm
Once I figure out
trying
how
to
to
make
make
a
video
video
games.
game with that music. Like
Oh,
I'm trying to. There's an engine called Pixel Game Maker MV, which is the I mentioned it last time we did a podcast very briefly, but it's the by the people who make RPG Maker, and this is for making 2D games of two types, either a top-down Legend of Zelda style game or a side scroller. And a side scroller can be like a Metroidvania or a shoot 'em up, or it can be a space
How
shooter.
about beat 'em up?
Yeah, it can be a beat 'em up. It's pretty flexible. So I've been
Make the
trying.
Simpsons game,
I've been
but
trying.
the Grammar Club.
Yeah, we could. That would be cool. I've been trying to make something a bit
Simpsons. Why-
simpler.
I
because
want that.
I don't have
X-Men?
the best grasp on the on the engine yet, and also some of it's in like Japanese. Some of the documentation it's still in early access beta. So I'm kind of figuring it out. No one knows how to use it. There are like so sparse tutorials even online. So I'm just trying to make the simplest game I can, which is like a side-scrolling space shooter. You know, we don't have to deal with gravity and jump physics. It's just a ship that always scrolls to the right and shoots. And I want to make a game called Space King because I guess a while, like 5 or 6 years ago now, I had made this this Nintendo NES ROM hack of Super Mario Bros. 1, and I promised that anyone who beat it I would give a wish to. And this guy Deluxe, our friend Steve King, who
Oh yes.
has the alias
thought-
Deluxe. Yeah, you know, used to be in some of the
I
old.
thought Brett beat it,
Yeah, a lot of people
But-
have beaten it, but
but
this
Deluxe
guy,
was the
Deluxe,
first one to
he
beat.
was not the first one to beat it. Who wasn't the
Okay.
first one to beat it? I think Devin was the first one to beat it. Actually, you
Yeah,
know,
there was kept wishing
Oh,
for
that
more
guy.
it's
wishes.
full,
This
it's
guy.
full of it's just nonsense. But I mean, like, I was just boasting ridiculously. I would grant one wish to anyone who beat it, and Steve beat it, and he wished that I would put him in a video game. So I'm trying to make a side-scrolling game called Space King, and just like
Oh.
I want him to narrate it because his name is Stephen King,
Because he's Deluxe.
and I
son.
promise, and also I owe him a wish.
He's gonna
Stephen
regret that
King.
wish. That's
Steven.
No.
that's your job as a wish granter is to
Real
make
low.
the
He
make
would
them.
make a good video game narrator. That guy.
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah, he would. He would. I'm the Space King. I was thinking like maybe
Like when you say
maybe-
Space King though, I just think of Katamari. Like I think of the King
Oh,
of all
yeah,
cosmos,
think of
like
that.
looking
That
down
works.
on you,
that works.
like in disappointment.
Well, I was thinking like it would be a game where it's a guy. This guy is like going about his regular business, and he uses like the mental construct of a 2D shooter to just sort of keep himself focused. Like it's the first level. He's like going shopping. He's trying to remember what he's got to buy. And like I want to get like a Parappa the Rapper effect going, where like if you're playing really well, it seems like it's just a regular space shooter. But if you're doing poorly, things start turning into like shopping carts and like heads of lettuce and stuff. And the
Like,
the
come
music
back to
becomes
the real world.
yeah, and the music becomes like elevator music.
It's like the We Happy Few when your drugs wear off.
Oh yeah, I imagine that would be like that.
Never heard of it. But it's probably
So
great.
you were talking about this, and I just thought, man, like, is Paperboy actually just an isometric space shooter where you only shoot to the left?
Oh yeah, it's like a really bad one.
It's like a really bad the stages of Vanguard where you're going like diagonal, but you only shoot one direction.
It's like some people sat down and were like, "How can we make a space shooter that's like more difficult
Really-
to aim than
yeah.
Zaxxon and also doesn't
And really
seem like a
awful
space
with
shooter?"
bad controls.
Yeah,
but then rocking music.
Paperboy
That was half good.
motherfucker. Squeak. Guys, this has been a fantastic podcast.
Sean, do you want to do the patron thanks before? So, who wants to do the patron thanks before we?
Guys, thank you for joining us on this podcast. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/The Grammar Club. Join us. We have all kinds of great tiers. Join us at $10. You can get our new album, Live Slow, Die Whenever. It's super great. Everyone on the internet says so. Oh, yeah. Michael Kill says so. Vince Vandal says so. All the internet cool people say so. So listen to our album. It's really dope. Thank you. Join us on Patreon. Thank you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Boom. That's
All right,
podcast,
great.
baby.
I am.
Nice.
Let's
that was a
kick.
good podcast.
That was a good
Okay,
podcast.
I'm gonna hit stop.